Okay, hello, welcome to episode 2. We were just on with some farms. We built some farms here and we were going to build a depot. So a few words about the location of the depot. The depot I'm putting at the end of the tunnel, close to the surface. The caravan won't be able to pass through any traps we might put in here. So we're going to leave it here near the surface. The merchants, if they're visiting, if we're ever raided and there's merchants here, they'll escape, and while they're fleeing, they may help us defend the fortress. At least serve as a diversion. The butcher shop and the tannery shop work together, and the animals are up here. The hunting will occur up here at the moment, so we'll leave these buildings close to the surface so that the hauling jobs are limited and things get processed before they start to rot, etc. Okay, we're going to build the depot. We're building things out of wood at this stage just because it's faster. The value of the buildings will be lower, but we just want to get started. We want to get things going. We want to be safe and sound and delve deep before the winter comes. We're going to build using the building menu. We're going to build a bridge. The bridge size can be altered using the U, M, K and H keys, and its properties, whether it retracts, which is the default, or whether it raises in various directions, is controlled by W, A, D and X. W for north to raise north, east, south, west, and S just to retract the bridge. If you don't set the bridge to raise, this drawbridge won't draw and fill the gate. It will just disappear and it won't serve the purpose we want it to, which is to block this gateway. We're going to build a wooden bridge again it's going to be much quicker, and we're going to build another one. We're not going to build it. We're not going to build the second bridge. We're going to build the second bridge on the lower level, just to make things work a little bit better. We want to be able to block off the hauling zone, which we're going to build below, from the mines and from the upper surface, while leaving the route to the subterranean layer routed towards the fort through this area. It sounds complicated. Basically, we just want to keep the fort separate from the caverns and keep the fort separate from the surface by way of this tunnel. So everything's got to go through this tunnel. Having a look at the units, we've got some idlers. So trying to keep everybody busy. We're going to dig down and find somewhere to live, and this area is going to be mined. Clearly there's lots to be mined on this layer. The subsequent layer, this I think is chalk or something. This looks like a flux stone, which we'll be able to use as chalk. We'll be able to use that to make steel, along with the iron, which we'll get from smelting this luminite. We're going to go down to this there, and we're going to start our fort down here. So D to designate, D to mine, and we're going to mine ourselves. This is going to be the hauling zone, which is going to connect with an area over here. So we're using up downstairs, which carve through the sand or the stone, and we're going to make it look nice and symmetrical. So the chambers will sit above each other. Oh, okay, that wasn't what I planned. In my mind, it hasn't quite lined up. Which is, I wanted to have a gate this down here, which we can still do this. We'll have a gate here. We're not going to dig it just yet, we'll dig this chamber first. So, in a few moments we will have a chamber to put our workshops in. As you can see, the plump helmets have begun to be gathered and are being put on the stockpile. If we could make some, if we could brew something from those, if we had some barrels, we'd be able to brew. At the moment it's red. So we need to get our carpenter's shop open as soon as possible, and we need to begin manufacture a few items. We can open up a little workshop space, and then we're going to delve some bedrooms for our dwarves, and before long we're going to have makings of a fort. I guess the idea of this series is that if you're new to Dwarf Fortress and you want to get some of the basics, you should be able to play along quite quickly, get a fort started, just with some early basic functions, and then you can experiment to your heart's content. Yeah, this is a kind of basic sort of start to a fort, and we're building in a fairly safe and obviously mineral rich area, which makes life a little bit easier. Having said that, we just do not know what is going to happen to our fort. It's not the safest world normally for a dwarf, so we shall see. Okay, we've got this. We're going to build a carpenter's shop, and we're going to build a mason. We're going to build a crafts dwarf's workshop, and we're going to build a mechanic shop. And those buildings, we've got workers for them. We've got crafts dwarfs. We've got a mason. We've got a carpenter, and we can get going. Our miners are going to need something to do, and we're going to need somewhere for our people to live also. I've misplaced that room. I brought it over too far, which is okay. It's just not what I planned. I'd like to have doors to all my rooms, and I haven't left any way for me to build doors into this workshop on the left, which is fine. It's just it limits the ultimate value of a room if it's open. It's not entirely enclosed, so that's why we should probably keep our stairwell separate, ideally, from any rooms that we're building. But it's not going to be in a side room. It's not going to be a meeting hall. It's not going to be any of. It's not going to be a meeting room or anything like that. So it's fine. But it just I'm a little bit obsessive about the way that things are. So I'll just have to learn to live with that over the course of this extended series. You can speed things up whenever you want to, using Alt and plus and minus. FPS at the top will show you that we've doubled the FPS, and we've got now a second room. We've got a load of lazy dwarfs with nothing to do. We're going to build a pile of wood. down here just to serve our carpenter shop, and we're gonna, in the settings, we're gonna order that pile to take using T from the wood pile assembled here, and that will fill up with wood quite quickly, and our carpenter will be able to work from that wood pile without having to go up and down to the surface for every bit of wood that he uses. We're going to put some bedrooms in here. This will be quite a high value bedroom. It's made out of bituminous coal. Okay, so that's going to be our bedrooms. This first room here, we're going to set it to be our first meeting area using I for activity zones. You can press M for meeting area and L to assign a location. There are no locations at this point assigned, so A to assign. We want to make this. I'm going to make this a temple. It's going to be the first meeting area, and it's going to be set for no specific deity, so anybody can come in and worship in the cunning cathedral. And any animals that are knocking around, like dogs and cats, birds, if they're not assigned to another pasture, they'll come and hang out in that meeting area. Any idle dwarves will knock around in there for now and have thoughts about spiritual matters, etc. But before long, we're going to have an inn open, and that's going to be the focus of all our value. We're going to get the dwarves hanging out in there and having fun. Okay, so we need to make some beds in order to get our dwarves to sleep. So we go into the carpentry shop, press Q, and then we add a job with A and then B for bed, and we have 10 beds queued up to be manufactured. We're going to knock some bits and bobs out of the mason's workshop. We're going to make a chest, a coffer. We're going to make 3 thrones, 3 tables for the inn, and we're going to make some more thrones for our first nobles. We're going to appoint shortly. The nobles will be a bookkeeper, a broker who will deal with the traders when they come, merchants, and a manager. And the manager will allow us to use the job screen to create new jobs for dwarves, rather than going to an individual workshop and adding jobs. We can create a list of demands, and that will be managed by the manager in his little office, which is why we need a throne for him, so he can sit on it. And likewise the bookkeeper, who will keep track of the stocks. The season of summer has arrived on the calendar, and things are moving along quite nicely. Just have to take things one step at a time, and everything will be hunky-dory. The beds are being made. What we're going to do is make a couple of buckets and some barrels. These are all short-keyed, and it's all just a matter of learning the correct keys to press, and it makes life a little bit easier. But again, the manager will make things even simpler once we get a bit further along. The mason's in there. He's busy making tables. That means he's probably already made some thrones. Yes, so we'll put a throne in one of these rooms, make some offices. We're gonna make 3 offices, and then we're gonna get into the beds. So we're building B and then B again for bed, and you can select the bed from the menu on the right. And then we've got a sleeping area. if you don't want to put in beds, you can just let your dwarf sleep wherever they want, but they'll be happy having their own rooms. Once the beds are in place, we can use those beds to create rooms. So if we hover over the bed using Q, we can use R to remake the room, and you can size that room appropriately. Enter, and then once you have created the room, you can assign it to one of your dwarves using A. And away we go. Now that these dwarves have a bedroom and there's some value added to the fort, it's quite likely we will begin to see our first immigrant wave. If you don't want immigrants, try having a crap fort and treat your dwarves as mean as possible. We'll begin to have visitors once we breach the cavern layers, troll slayers, beast slayers, monster slayers. Monster slayers will come and want to hang around in your fort, and as soon as you have created an inn, other visitors, many bards and other warriors and adventurers will come and visit your fort. And if your fort's pretty sweet and nice, they're going to ask all the friends or they're going to recommend the place. If not, if they all get murdered or die, then you won't have any more visitors. Or you might not have as many visitors. We'll have to see what happens. But at the moment, we've got all our dwarves in beds. We've got some prayer and meditation going on here in the temple. I'll chill our dwarves out, and people haven't got anything to do, so we're gonna delve out a little area here, which is going to be a haulage depot. We're going to have stockpiles in there for stone and wood and for gems, uncut gems, rough gems, which will be brought in from the surface and from the caverns or from the mine, which we're going to build from this stairwell. Those stockpiles will be fed by rail track into the workshop and to the jeweller's area, which we're going to zone as well. So these are going to be tunnels which will have tracks carved into them by our miners. The miners are going to be made into stone details. So any downtime they've got, they're going to begin. Any downtime they've got, they're going to begin carving or smoothing, depending on what we designate out. I need to close some of these things down before I start filming, if that's the word. Okay, so yeah, this is all pretty new to me. I hope that the video is of interest. I hope that you get something out of it. If you do, please leave a comment or something like that. I'd just be happy if anybody watches the videos, to be entirely honest. It's good fun playing Dwarf Fortress, and I thought I would have a go at sharing it on the internet. So the episode's got almost come to a close, but we're in a good place. We've got bedrooms, we've got a meeting room, everything is well in the world, and soon enough we'll be able to start exploring some other avenues of fun. I'm going to build some more plots briefly, and these are going to be 7 long. We'll build these from the build menu using P for plot, and then again size those using U, M, K and H, and we're going to build another 4 plots. There's 5 types of underground plants that you can grow, so eventually these will all be utilised, we're going to build some surface farm, which we can then plant up once we've got some seeds. But we're going to need some help as far as immigrants to come along and give us the manpower to just, well, yeah, to go pick up some plants, and we can get some crops going up there as well. So, okay, these plots are coming online. We're going to put sweet pods in. We're going to put everything in apart from quarry bushes, because quarry bushes are just a waste of time unless you've got fertilisation. I think is the case. So spring we can plant everything. Plump helmets we can grow all year. The spring, sweet pods will grow, and in the summer, the sweet pods will grow. The cave wheat will grow in summer, and it will grow in autumn. The pigtails is not okay. We'll wait for those plots. The pigtails will grow, and you can brew those, and you can also use them to make fibres, which are going to be helpful when we want to start making bags and making clothes and things like that, and hopefully making some paper as well for Dwarf Academy, and then we can start sharing the knowledge. Guys, it's been much fun. Shout out to everybody in the Dwarf Fortress world. I hope you're all really having a lovely day, and cheerio. Bye bye.